Taoiseach.
Concola, I admire the courage of Fiona Doyle in doing what she did. This case has filled the nation with revulsion. Revulsion. The defilement of a child and continuous rape over a 10-year period. I would like to believe that others who have or are subject to a rape or incest or crimes of this horrific nature would not lose courage in coming forward to say their piece. The situation here is that this sentence and case has now been referred to the Court of Criminal Appeal for priority assessment. The question of mandatory reporting of mandatory sentencing is an issue that has been raised here before in regard to particular crimes over the years. The matter for government to reflect on as part of a situation insofar as introducing legislation is concerned. I accept your clarification, Ceann Comhairle. It is not open to me or anybody else in the House here to refer to the nature or the extent of the sentence. But I do want to repeat that the case being brought to public scrutiny by Fiona Doyle is an act of courage on her behalf, and I admire her for that. And as I say, it has filled the people with a sense of revulsion. I trust that the Court of Criminal Appeal will deal with the referencing of this to it as a priority, and I would hope, following the question raised by Deputy Kelleher, that others who are abused or horrifically defiled, as in this case, will not lose courage and will have the courage to speak out as Ms Doyle has done.
Deputy Kelleher.
Well, Ceann Comhairle, Fiona Doyle did show great courage and bravery in coming forward. But the issue of concern here is the potential fallout that this will raise in terms of people who may be very concerned about being brave, waiving their right to privacy, coming forward, opening up to the world the torment that they went through. And we clearly have an obligation in this House to act. As I said previously, Taoiseach, here, this state in previous times reneged its rights and its responsibilities and duties to protect children in its own care and in the care of others who were acting on behalf of the state. We apologise in this House. We had a children's referendum. But what we must do now as a legislator and as a parliament and as a people is ensure that anybody who's out there who has been raped, who has been abused, or is presently being raped and abused, that they believe that if they walk into a Garda station, if they go to a social worker, that they will be vindicated and that the state will protect their rights and ensure that they seek justice in the courts of this country. And I'm not questioning any individual court case, but fallout can set precedents, and it can have a very damaging effect on how we judge ourselves and how we view crimes in this society.
Thank you.
And our children need that protection.
Well, let me say to Deputy Kelleher, one of the statements made by this government was the appointment of a senior cabinet minister dealing with children and youth affairs. And I commend Minister Fitzgerald for the work that has been done to date in this regard, in drawing all the elements of child care and child connection into one single department, in having had a referendum, in putting together the excellent work being done by the Garda Vetting Bureau in respect of legislation dealing with mandatory reporting and a whole range of issues that are concerned with the welfare of children, both now and for the future. The issue raised by Deputy Kelleher in respect of the fallout from this particular case is one that concerns us all. The case has been referred for priority treatment to the Court of Criminal Appeal, and I hope that happens as a matter of urgency. So the sentence itself in that sense, Deputy, has not been finally dealt with until the Court of Criminal Appeal makes its decision. But let me repeat again that the courage of Fiona Doyle speaks for itself. What that young girl went through, what she had to put up with in the horrific and barbaric treatment was something that very few people can speak in the way that she speaks, because she's been through that. And that's why it fills people with a sense of revulsion. Unfortunately, it's not the only such case that has come to light over the years, and you're well aware of these, where other horrific instances have happened. And that's why, from my own perspective, it was very important to be able to appoint at government level a senior position dealing with the legislation that will protect our children, all our children, for the future. This is a horrific case of the past. It's not over yet. And as I said, a revulsion is a word that comes to people's minds and tongues in talking to them today all over the country because of what happened here. And I do hope, Deputy Kelleher, that the Court of Criminal Appeal will deal with this case as a matter of urgency in respect of what has been referred to it. Again, I admire Fiona Doyle, and I hope that she speaks for all those young people who have been the victims of this kind of incest or rape or brutality, which has had a devastating impact on their own mental strength and on their own relations with their individual families. So I do hope the matter will be examined and dealt with by the Court of Criminal Appeal in the shortest possible time. Clearly, you're aware of the constraints that are upon me in this regard.
Deputy Adams.
Thank you, Concord Gormagut, and I appreciate very much the need for us to be very careful about how we deal with these issues. So I want to ask you, Taoiseach, about promised legislation, about the reform of the court system to provide for a new Court of Appeal. And I want to ask you about the particular problems that exist in relation to the Court of Criminal Appeal, which is constituted on a part-time basis. And the judges who sit in this court are drawn from the High Court and Supreme Court and have significant additional obligations elsewhere. So consequently, the court has a backlog, and there are major